Welcome back to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols, still hanging out with Richard Jefferson, Zach Lowe. We're going to talk a little Anthony Davis, who is now an NBA champion and can become a free agent. Everyone assumes AD will be back with the Lakers. I assume AD will be back with the Lakers. Richard, with LeBron about to turn 36 and approaching what will be his 18th season, is 27-year-old AD ready to take the keys to the Lakers franchise from LeBron, or is that still a bit off?
No, not yet. He's not yet. This was just the first understanding of what it takes to win a championship. He has all the ability, he has all the talent, but you have to learn. And Jimmy Butler was a great example of that. I guarantee you Jimmy Butler had never been as tired as he was in the NBA Finals because he learned what it was to give his all. And I think Anthony Davis had some ups and downs in this postseason where you were looking for him. And when you take the keys, that means that you are showing up every single night, no matter what. And he's close, but he's not there yet.
I agree with RJ, actually. And when I hear the who has the keys metaphor, I tend to take it as who's driving the offense, who's organizing the offense, who's got the ball in their hands to start the key possessions. That's still going to be LeBron. And the beauty of this partnership is LeBron, as he gets even older and the minutes pile up and maybe he loses like a teensy bit of a step, he can play that organizing role, that orchestrating role, but play it and average 20 points a game, 22 points a game, 22, 10, and 10 or something like that. And AD can average 30, 32. That's the beauty of how they mesh together. But in terms of who am I trusting to organize the big possessions in every game, it's still going to be LeBron James, and I think it's going to be for a while.
Well, no, the one thing I was going to say is, I have a feeling that LeBron James leading the league in assists was sending a message that, I will adjust my game if more players want to come here. I can still facilitate. And I think that was a message
totally
for him doing that. Yeah.
That's so interesting. It's funny. I had a conversation with Jeannie Buss last night after sort of all the hoopla died down. And we were talking about that contract that she gave Kobe Bryant when he was clearly not going to be himself after the Achilles injury, the giant number that a lot of people said crippled the franchise for the next couple years. And why did they do that? And was it really worth it? And her point the whole way through is we want to send a message to the rest of the league about how the Lakers treat our superstars and the people who have done things for us. And I think that is part of what made LeBron James want to come to the Lakers. It worked, right?
Well, yeah, 100%. And also, that was sending a message. Now, there's other little messages in, but also this, if LeBron James is chasing after Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for the all-time leading scorer, you know damn well they want him in a Laker jersey. So they're going to do everything to make sure that he is happy, that he wants to be there long term, and that's going to be most likely paying for somebody well after their prime. And so I think that's, very similar to what they did for Kobe.
And paying Anthony Davis, of course, which you guys heard in the first segment. I asked AD about his free agency. He gave a very coy answer, which I don't completely understand, since we all know the Lakers will offer him the maximum amount of money they can offer him, and then he will take the maximum amount of money he can take.
Years.
I don't know what he's trying to bargain for. Yeah,
years.
Is it years of flexibility, options?
And there's some holes in this Laker roster. We saw it. There were some holes. And so obviously the Lakers are going to have to go into the tax. They'll be a tax team. So it's like he now has some leverage. Okay, well, who are you guys going to go get? You can go get one player. You can show me that you're going to add to some of the gaps that we had in this roster. Then I will sign my deal. So you got to keep your leverage for as long as possible.
Well, and I also thought maybe he was playing coy, as you put it, because the pandemic has thrown the cap situation in complete chaos. It may be best for him to sign a one-year deal and do a long-term deal somewhere down the line. All those decisions are very complex. It may take time. But, yeah, he's coming back. LeBron is going to stay on the team. And as long as those two dudes are on the team and they tinker with the supporting cast here and there, they're going to be right in the mix and toward the top of the mix every single season until the wheels fall off, because those guys are just that good.
Well, remember, of course, LeBron with all the one-year, one-and-one contracts to sort of make sure that he held Dan Gilbert, for example, accountable on that team you were on, Richard, to make sure the right pieces were around. Who's LeBron's agent? Rich Paul. Who is Anthony Davis's agent? Rich Paul. There we go.
Everyone's
all right,
agent.
Coming up. What was your favorite moment in the bubble? We will discuss with our bubble reporters. Malika Andrews, who spent more than 100 days here in the bubble, joins us, as does Dave McMenamin. They're going to come hang out next. Stick around.
Don't want no other driver on the job. No. Only car 85.
For a
You think
championship.
that's low for a championship celebration?
I've seen more on college campuses.
I could barely get back to my
when they won
hotel in San
lacrosse, when
Antonio
they won
with this
lacrosse
first one.
championships. Fireworks, huh?
Fireworks going on. That's the bubble, though. The bubble is really the thing that I think wins the prize. Shout out, Bubble Boy.
I like the Bubble Boy because
Shout out
that
to
person
you.
was like, hey, we're going to rage, but we're going to rage responsibly.
Exactly. Speaking of raging responsibly, make celebrations. J.R. Smith's shirt could not wait until the final bell last night to come off.
He knew what he was doing. He's trying to get that attention.
That is the J.R. Smith way, right? Remember President Obama said that he didn't know if J.R. was ever going to put his shirt back on? And, of course, Alex Caruso, Kyle Kuzma, Dwight Howard, they joined in on the shirtless revelry.
And as they should. When you are a champion, let everybody see it.
Zach, what do you think?
I hope JR celebrates normal life events like that. Childbirth, someone getting married, a nice check coming in the mail. Just take your shirt off and run around the neighborhood.
Well, Zach, since you were at home, I was going to ask you if you took your shirt off and ran around your house.
I was not shirtless. I was just celebrating normally.
Miss Mic Drops. All right, Anthony Davis was hyped at the podium after his speech. He tried to put the mic back on. The mic stand did not cooperate.
Love
His
it.
teammates' reactions were amazing. I think you're going to be okay with AD being, it's his first title.
That's what I'm saying, AD, you're going to get a lot more practice up on that mic.
Aw, you
you're going to
think
get, I think he will.
All right, we'll get to that later in the show.
Yeah.
Pretty good, though. I thought the joy last night was pretty awesome. Zach and I were talking about this earlier today. Yes, it would have been great with the crowd, but those guys,
Man.
it was the joy of sport. And that was, I could use a little joy in 2020. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you.
Make recovery. More podium hijinks. Rob Pelinka tries to high-five Frank Vogel. It doesn't work.
Now this is more of, that's what we're used
That's
to in 2020.
that's your boss. That's your boss,
Yeah.
Frank Vogel. Come on. Get with it.
Frank Vogel doesn't have a ball. Doesn't have a boss.
I think he does.
No, I think he does too. It's more for dramatic effect.
Just might not be Rob Pelinka. We don't know. Jeannie Buss is his boss. Okay, I do say that the catalog of missed high fives has only grown during the bubble. And I
It's a
love our
trend.
all-time reel that involves Phil Jackson because his
Yeah, rub in the face. Get your face, Phil.
it's all good. But I do like the Pelinka Vogel.
Yeah.
And I like LeBron saying that Rob Pelinka needs more respect. Frank Vogel needs more respect. They are champions now.
Yeah, they are.
Miss Awareness. So Quinn Cook celebrated with his teammates in the locker room, but then apparently the bus left without him. I was not on the bus, I cannot confirm, but fans on social media noticed that Cook tried to tell J.R. Smith through his IG live stream, make a U-turn, tell the bus, don't leave me, Richard. How does this happen?
You know what? A lot of crazy things happen when you're in this. I've seen like family members get lost and like kids get lost in rooms. Like, oh no, it is. Everyone's taking pictures with the trophies. You're celebrating. You're doing interviews. Things happen. Quinn.
But you're in a bubble, and there's only they only have to worry about like 30 people.
That is cold. That is cold.
Crazier thing. And it's okay. Quinn's won a couple, so he didn't miss out on it. I'm pretty sure he ended up at the destination he was supposed to.
I think he did. I will say Quinn Cook is like everyone in the NBA's favorite friend.
Oh, he's awesome.
That I have
So
noticed
pick him
throughout
up.
this year.
He's obviously not your favorite friend if you don't wait for him on a bus.
Yeah, but you can't be hitting up JR. You got to hit up
I
like
was gonna
NBA
say,
security.
This is why I'm a little suspicious of this. This is why I'm saying apparently. Because if you were truly left behind on the bus, would you go through J.R. Smith's Instagram Live?
No.
Or would you just like call Allison Bogley or something?
My
right?
favorite thing is when guys used to sit in the bathroom in the back of the bus and like text people, hey, where are you guys at?
Right.
And then they start, causing problems.
That
and
feels
then,
more
that's
like
that's a little bit more fun.
What happened? We'll see. All right, well, I want to shift to the losing team last night because Miami deserves our respect. They
Yes,
went down
they do.
fighting in this series. And Friday night in Game 5, the Heat really stunned the Lakers. LA had plans on clinching in the Black Mamba jerseys, but Jimmy Butler, or in Eric Spoelstra's words, Jimmy effing Butler, had 35 points and his second triple-double of the finals to extend the series. Now, Game 6 was, of course, a very different story. The Heat got in a big hole early. They trailed by 28 at the half. They never recovered. But look, you have to look at the series as a whole. Miami really relished that underdog role this entire postseason. Did they just kind of run out of gas last night, Zach?
I mean, look, the severity of the score, you did not expect 30 points in the second quarter. But the fact is, as you said, Rachel, they were an underdog before their three best players got hurt in game one. Obviously, Jimmy Butler sprained his ankle, didn't miss any time, but Bam did. Dragic, poor guy, barely played in the series. And three of their 4 losses were by double digits. So it's not surprising that, this happened to them in a game. It was a little depressing, and the 2 games they won required absolutely superhuman efforts from Jimmy Butler. So they were an underdog, and sometimes this happens to underdogs against the best player in the world.
Yeah, and that's what, look, if you look at the Miami Heat's 2 wins, like Jimmy Butler was amazing. But to play 47 minutes, and we talk so much about great players in this league, whether it's Michael Jordan or Tim Duncan or LeBron James, and these guys would put up those performances every single night. Jimmy Butler did it, 2 nights, and it looked like he was really struggling out there. And it's still a compliment to Jimmy because of this. We know at Jimmy's very best, he can go toe-to-toe with the greatest players in the world. So it is still a compliment. He has definitely moved up the ranks of respected NBA players over the course of this run, and it is something that should be applauded.
And you have to remember, too, that in a normal final schedule, if that even exists anymore, there would be a couple more days between games because there would be travel built in at this point in the series, all of that stuff. So he would normally have more recovery time. Instead, in the bubble, it's every other night. So those 47 minutes were really right there for you.
And that's why they would do that, Rach. That's why they would give guys 2 days rest, because these guys exude so much energy that to improve the quality of basketball with the travel, giving 2 days allows that.
And again, he was trying to make up for Goran Dragic missing most of the series. Bam Adebayo, who never said that he was playing hurt, was definitely playing hurt. And Jimmy Butler was playing hurt. Obviously, as you noted, Zach sprained his ankle and so all sorts of other things in the first game of that series, and maybe earlier in the playoffs, too. He played hurt. We'll never know. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit about the Lakers having an incredible postseason run, but the future is bright in L.A. beyond this year. Is Anthony Davis ready to take the keys from LeBron? We will discuss next. Richard.